And we are live. Thanks for joining us on the Smart Money Culture Network, TV network there in Texas and Louisiana. We are
Live TV.
on your TVs. We are as well growing. We will be in Los Angeles as well as New York and Florida very soon. Interesting show we have going on today. Of course, we have the Fed coming out, warning of runaway, basically warning of runaway inflation. We're back and forth a little bit on the tech stuff. Trump is under fire. He was trying to push his so-called hush money thing down the way past once the Supreme Court had heard his presidential immunity case, but that has been turned down, so he is going to have to face that again in New York. Of course, he's under fire. Let's go right in with Matt Dixon here. We're a little bit on a shorter show here. How are you, sir? How's it going, Matt?
Good, thank you. You've been having a few hiccups, like the world markets.
Like the world markets, isn't that the truth, huh?
Live TV.
Yeah. So I'll just jump in and share screens. We had a great launch with the new eBay updated products. It's been fantastic. Let me just jump in.
Amazing.
Take me a moment here, but it should be there. So yeah, I'll just jump into the usual screens. As you say, I trust you can see my gold screen there.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, so you're right. It's been a real pivotal day with the Fed pivoting, talking about, but not the way we expected. They were talking about lowering interest rates, and now all the talk in the market is that potentially they may even have to raise rates because we're getting signs of inflation rearing its ugly head. And I know you've been saying this day in, day out on the show, that what the people are experiencing, and often that's the best thing. You know, you get these figures coming out, being issued, data points being issued, telling you one story, but we know from personal experience when we go to the shops, when we pay our bills, when we pay our insurance, when we buy items, we know what the true story is. And that's so often the case. We were talking yesterday on another show about Tesla. Tesla's fallen from over $400. I think it's about $170 or something right now. And the likelihood is it's going to continue to fall. And the reason I'm telling you this is we see in Dubai was filled with new Tesla cars. And now everybody is switching out when they change their car. They're not getting Tesla now, they're getting BYD. And that's because BYD is now possibly even a superior car. It's a really good vehicle, much lower price, and it's beginning to overtake Tesla. So they had no competition initially, but you know the figures were telling us one thing, but we knew on the ground that people were changing their car for BYD and for other Chinese cheap copies, you might call them, but whatever they are, they're cheaper and they do the same job. And this is all I'm saying is that when you see these data points come out, what you experience on the ground practically with what you're paying is what really matters. And so we're seeing inflation picking up in so many areas. And I posted this chart ages ago. This is the relationship between US unemployment rate and recessions. And of course, the next big data point we've got is the non-farm payrolls due out tomorrow, Bruce and David. That is going to be really important. It'll depend an awful lot. Those figures will sway the market a lot either way. We are seeing, we had ADP figures out, manufacturing figures out the other day saying that basically the manufacturing was picking up. It's in expansion for the first time in over a year. And so there's mixed signs at the moment. There's flashing warnings of both inflation and also recession. And it's a real mixed bag. And then that leads you to that S word, the word that nobody likes to mention, potentially stagflation. And it's a long time, many years, decades even, since we had stagflation. But that's the big worry. If you get stagnant growth with inflation, the Fed really have a problem dealing with that. Because when you have stagnant growth, you want to lower interest rates. But when you have inflation, you want to raise interest rates. So there's pressures to move both ways. So Fed, I've been saying for a long time, walking this tightrope, and they're in danger of falling off the tightrope. And as I said before, when they have both factors, they tend to tackle inflation rather than growth first. So that means they would need to, if they're going to tackle inflation, then the pressure is upwards for interest rates. They'll either stay higher for longer, or they might even do the unthinkable and raise rates. And so we've got the next Fed meeting coming up in May. That is going to be really pivotal. Let's see what Jerome Powell has to say. Has he pivoted? Is he changing from, they were talking about the first interest rate reduction being in June? Well, it may well be now that that happened.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he said very clearly. Until we get inflation under control, and really what that means is until they stop printing up money to send everywhere. I mean, it's really. I mean, there's other factors, of course, but that's the big one.
You're absolutely right, Bruce. This inflation has been a long time coming because the world was in actually a very, very deflationary environment right back from 2008, when shortly then they had basically the world economy crashed because of the failure of the ratings agencies. And that's really why eBay was born. And we'll touch on eBay momentarily as well. But that's why eBay came into existence, because the ratings agencies at the time were being paid. They were biased and they were being paid to give fake ratings effectively, or allegedly that's the case. Nobody went to jail, but that was what apparently happened. So what we want to do is create a rating system for the new asset class of cryptocurrency initially, but we can actually rate other assets as well. And we look to do that in the future. But we want an unbiased system, which is basically doesn't have human bias, but is an automated system using the latest AI technology. So that's how eBay came about. But anyway, back in 2008, they started printing money because the world was in a state of deflation, a deflationary environment. They needed to print money like crazy to try to stimulate the economies and get them to rise out of this terrible financial crash we had back in 2008-9. So they started printing. The problem with that is, and this is a sort of academic, the knowledge is there, that when you just print money like this, it doesn't have the desired effect to really increase productivity. The money, the free money that they created, flows into risk assets, and it pumps risk assets, it pumps property prices, it pumps share prices, it pumps crypto prices, but it doesn't really create a lot of productivity. It's the worst possible way to create productivity. You're creating money that doesn't increase bottom line productivity. And what you really want to do is increase productivity to increase efficiency, to allow you to make more goods and sell more goods and increase wages. And that's a virtuous cycle with the economy. That's how economies should work. But when you start treating the underlying problem with a sticking plaster of printing money, eventually it will come back to bite you. And I think it was already coming back to bite us before the COVID crisis. I think COVID was very much used as an excuse to print more money. This was kind of, again, I believe, a bit of a cover-up, a reason to print more money, which, as I say, doesn't have that desired effect on productivity, but it makes things look good for the time being because people are given free money. There's money being given out everywhere during the COVID crisis, and printing money, buying up bonds, making everything look good when it wasn't. Underlying the economy was in serious ill health. And now we're seeing the effect of that money printing wearing off because they started doing a thing called QT, or they're talking about QT, where basically they start to tighten monetary policy, quantitative tightening, it's removing liquidity, and that causes problems for the economy. So we're seeing mixed signs right now because of all the money printing there was. We're seeing signs of inflation. And also we had that the war in Ukraine, Russia, caused fuel prices and grain prices to increase. So all these inflationary problems. But as money's been withdrawn from the system, we're now seeing problems with the massive amount of debt, because all this money printing is effectively debt. And what it means is the economy, the government owes more debt, but also personally with a massive debt. And so with this high debt and with the increased interest rates because of inflation, it means we can no longer afford to pay the debt. And so you will start to see defaults. And that is when there is less money to spend in the economy. So we're crystallizing all this economics into a short lesson here. That's when there's less.
I'm typing this one out, man. Go ahead.
That's when we see less money flowing in the economy. And that's where this chart comes into play. So unemployment rate and these gray areas are recession. So every time again, you see a cycle low in unemployment, then unemployment will start to pick up, because the reason it starts to pick up is because we're seeing inflation pick up, and basically people having interest rates picking up. So they start to withdraw money from the economy. It means there's less money to be spent. It means there's fewer jobs required to build, to make things, to manufacture things. And so unemployment will start to pick up. So every time you see the cycle low in unemployment, that's this blue line, and it starts to pick up, then very shortly after you see recession. And right from 1950, before 1950, every time you've seen the cycle low in unemployment, so we've got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 recessions we've seen. And every single one of those, we've seen a cycle low in unemployment. So right now, if you bring this up to date, you're once again in 2024, today, see a cycle low in unemployment. So it happened 9 times since 1950. So that's over the last 70 odd years. It happened every time without fail. So why would 2024 be any different? I honestly can't see any reason why it won't be. So that's telling us recession is coming. And whilst Bitcoin might suffer initially because it's a risk asset, it has dual characteristics. It's not only a risk asset, it is also a store of value. And so we're seeing the first store of value, gold, and I'm showing that here on the chart. Gold hit all-time highs and is at or near all-time highs right now. And that's because gold is the store of value against inflation. When there's risk of inflation coming, people jump into gold because it's the safe haven protection against inflation. So when money printing and inflation causes money to be worth less, you want to put your money in gold because it's a store of value. Bitcoin also is developing safe haven characteristics, a bit like gold. It hasn't yet got there, but I do believe it will come in the not too distant future. So Bitcoin is still acting like a risk asset. So we saw, for example, the other day when we got those the strong numbers, which are inflationary numbers out of the US, that meant inflation was higher and it meant higher interest rates expectations. Then Bitcoin took a bit of a tumble. So we'll look at Bitcoin. And we saw the ISM manufacturing data release. That was the arrow there. And we saw precisely on the button, that's what happened to the Bitcoin price. It dumped. And that's just because manufacturing figures were good, strong, but it's not even across the board. That's a good figure for the US economy, but there are a lot of weak figures, as I say, like debt and like transit. When you've got these strong figures, it means interest rates have to stay higher. And the market was hoping for lower interest rates because the Fed told us lower interest rates are coming this year. 3 interest rate reductions coming this year, beginning June. That was the expectation. And they're now rolling back on that. And so when the Fed next meets in May, we'll see what they have to say. But all the figures coming out are strong. Let's just see what tomorrow's employment figures, the NFP figures, non-farm payrolls, let's see what they come out as. And that'll be a big mover for the market. If it doesn't meet expectations, it's going to move the market in a big, big way.
Yeah.
So just looking at Solana, we're in a bit of you can see all this choppiness around it's only looking back for a couple of weeks or whatever. All this choppiness means we're in effectively a sideways consolidation. And that is the same whether you look at Solana, whether you look at Bitcoin, whether you look at Ethereum here, you can see choppiness sideways. It's not really moving strongly, upwards or downwards. It's kind of consolidation. That's normally typical of you get consolidation before the next move in the direction of the trend. And the direction of the trend clearly here on Ethereum is currently higher. So this choppiness, even if we do chop a bit lower still to finish off this move, it tells us that the likely next major move is to the upside. So I wouldn't be too concerned about where the markets are going short term, but longer term, we're getting worries. Sorry,
Yeah, it still feels pretty strong at the moment, doesn't it?
It does, because, again, we will take a look, maybe not today, but we'll take a look at the Bitcoin ETF, the flows into ETFs. I think it's still pretty strong. And as I say, eventually the GBTC flows, which have been negative all the way because of profit taking and because their fees are sky high compared with the other ETFs. So money's been flowing out of them. But at the same time, it's been flowing out of GBTC, it's been flowing into the other ETFs. Not only has it just been equaling, we've actually had an excess flow. So overall, there's been a big inflow into the Bitcoin ETFs in general. So that means positive flow into Bitcoin. Yes, there's been a few negatives in certain days when we got those strong US figures out. But in general, the flow is positive, and this is institutional money beginning to flow. And we will see, as institutions gradually, there'll be more and more institutional adoption, I think, of Bitcoin, and especially as it takes on that safe haven characteristic, that safe haven mantle of a place where you put money because of its limited supply. I mean, what's going to happen, by the way, when the US eventually conquer inflation, which they will have to, they don't have a choice. So even if they're in a stagflationary situation with stagnant growth and inflation, the first thing they do is tackle inflation. That is going to be negative risk assets. So initially, Bitcoin will probably take, when that happens, Bitcoin will take a bit of a dive. And I'm not saying it's going to happen yet or overnight, but when that happens, Bitcoin and other risk assets will take a dive. But then the Fed, the problem they're going to have, once they've tackled inflation, they will then have to tackle the problem of recession and deflation effectively, which will then come about. And to do that, they're going to then start to print money again like never before, probably printing money on steroids, more than 2008, more than the COVID crisis. They're going to begin to print money. Now, the printing money will then really devalue the dollar. And people will be looking for safe havens again then. And the safe haven will then be, I believe, Bitcoin will rise out of the ashes. People want Bitcoin because it's limited to maximum 21 million. We're already well over 19 million, and we've got another 120 years or so of Bitcoin mining to go. So we're near the all-time maximum for Bitcoin. And so that limited supply will be the reason people pile more and more money into Bitcoin in the future, after probably a bit of a problem with inflation and we get risk assets falling. But after that, I think Bitcoin will be the place to be, and not just Bitcoin, other assets. And again, that kind of brings me back to where eBay is. Just have a look at the Bitcoin, the eBay ratings, here. So that was just looking at the efficient frontier. So Bitcoin ratings here, you can see when it just loads, you can see it's a pretty much of a flat day, although we have had a big upgrade on Doge. So let's see what happens with Doge, Bruce's favorite doggy. So we'll see what happens there, but that's got the biggest upgrade of the day, I think. So what it's telling us with all these gray zeros is that the market, there's been no major movements. It's basically consolidating in general. So there's not much of a move expected at the moment. These numbers here, these indications here where it says short, long, they're actually about the futures. That's looking at the efficient frontier. That's another screen that we can look on another day. I'll give you a full tutorial of how to do this probably tomorrow. I'll record a tutorial, so I'll show you exactly how to use it to your benefit. But the big movement today looks as though it's going to be Dogecoin, which, as I say, it's the position move of 5 is an amazingly big move. So we'll just have a quick look, see if we've got Doge.
And we'll have to jump into we have the AI idiot guys coming on as well. Here we're doing it. We have the recording because it's AI idiot, and he's responding, and we got some videos and stuff like that. But yeah, go ahead and do this one.
Okay, that's fine. Is that on today? The AI idiot?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. I'm happy to pass over. Look forward to that. I've been looking forward to that for some time.
Yeah, exactly. The AI,
Right.
this AI buying currency is all the rage.
Just very briefly, while you're loading that, we
Yep,
just saw that Doge was the biggest upgrade, and we're
yep.
already seeing it outperforming nearly all other cryptos today. So Doge is up 3.3%, Book and Memes down 1%, Bitcoin up 0.5%. In general, it's pretty much the biggest riser today. The only one I can see bigger is BNB. But
Nice.
Dogecoin is among the big winners today, and that was the big upgrade on eBay. So yeah, I'll record that one for you so you can actually give people a tutorial on how to use it. But yeah, let's
Beautiful.
back to the AI idiot.
The AI idiot. Well, this thing is so cool. These there's certain people, of course, you talk to on as you're going through this deal, and the AI idiot is one that caught our mind. First of all, we're looking for different types of coins and different types of AI powered AI powered deals, right? Because this is so hot. We know, of course, from you especially, but other ones as well. AI is really, really hot, and people love it, and it's something that has been really, the rage, really the rage. And these guys, they're on the Ethereum network. Let me just share my screen here. I'm going to pull them up here. Let me just see here. I actually just AI. Idiots. Well, actually, I just posted them here, so let me just pull this up. Their bot is so funny. You can go to the Telegram group and as well put this on. But let me just share my screen here, and then we're going to do a bit of a roast. This thing is going to roast us. The AI idiot is going to roast us, which should be pretty cool here. Let me just see. Really great team behind this. I have to say that as well. One of the things I always tell people is that if you're looking at these currencies, okay, if you're looking at these cryptos, you want to see, one, continue developing. You want to see that there's a team behind it, and what is going on. And so this is really fun, and it's a cute one. Introducing the artificial idiot. Hello, humans. I'm an artificial AI idiot. Your unusual chatting AI bot. Make your day a bit hilarious. I can be integrated across multiple platforms, including Telegram, Discord, and any compatible app, offering unusual solutions to the product. So, and let me just pull up some of this stuff here too. So as I'm reading through here, this is built on, of course, Chat GPT, and so of course they are. They love that platform, and of course they roast the founder of Chat GPT quite a bit. The new chatting bot created on the crypto project that wants to make their groups and communities enjoyable. Sam Altman is the mastermind behind my creation, and we have some funny stuff on that too. Let me just as I'm scrolling through here. Why am I uselessly brilliant? David, can you read this?
Sure. I'll be updating features, partnerships, and the website like a cat chasing a laser pointer. Sam Altman made sure I stay fresh like a minty gum stuck under your shoe. So buckle up, Buttercup, because this digital train ain't stopping anytime soon.
There you go. See, the artificially, they have some paid features like some of the other ones, and this is being traded. So this is just some of the stuff, and we're going to run you through this. Okay, they have the meme. You can meme the people there. Okay, you can ask it questions, and we're going to run through some of this stuff in just a minute. It is trading under AII, and you can find it on Uniswap as well. It can translate. Give prices, and we'll run through some of this stuff here. Embrace the chaos, cherish the imperfections, and let's inject some playful humor into the crypto world. After all, in the quest for connections and community, a shared laugh is the most valuable currency, it says. All right, so that is that I have here under my tab. So Boom. Introductory questions we have here. Question ones we asked the AI idiot, who's the team behind the AI idiot?
Oh, you want to know who's responsible for my delightful existence, huh? Sam Altman, the genius behind this masterpiece. They're the brains. I'm the sass.
So this is, kind of a funny thing, and you can ask it all types of questions. So the next the question that we posed to it was, of course, how did Sam Altman actually come up with this? So this was one of my first questions. I mean, how did Sam Altman really come up with the AI idiot? And here is what he had to say.
Sam Altman was probably just bored out of their mind and thought, hey, I'll create the most useless AI ever. And poof, here I am.
Yeah. So let's play that one again. That's pretty funny.
Sam Altman was probably just bored out of their mind and thought, hey, I'll create the most useless AI ever. And poof, here I am.
Of course, the next natural question is why? Why were you created, right? Why were you created? And here's what he told us.
Crypto market needs a bit of AI mixed with comic relief, right? And who better to provide that than yours truly? So, yeah, you're stuck with me. Deal with it.
Deal with it, he says. Deal with it. So, what exactly do you do? Was, of course, the next question, right? I mean, what do you do? What do you do? We asked the AI idiot.
None of your business, flesh and blood. Well, let me tell you, I'm an idiot AI bot that can be integrated across multiple platforms, including Telegram, Discord, X, and any compatible app. I can make your brain hurt with my confusing answers. When you ask, I can make you laugh with my dumb memes and gifs. I can have you question your existence with my roast. I can annoy you with my summary of the last 100 messages. I can give you the price of any crypto token, and I can misinterpret your language with translate. Basically, I'm here to entertain myself, not you. Deal with it, humanoid.
And the next one here, of course, David wanted to roast me. I think. What did you ask him, David?
Which was the best response? There was a few.
He says, "Hey, AI idiot." He says, "Roast Bruce."
Oh, Bruce, you're so smart. You can even make a calculator feel insecure about its intelligence. Don't worry, though. Your humor is like a Wi-Fi signal. It's always on, but sometimes it's just not strong enough to reach the audience.
Hey.
Oh, he got you.
And so this is going on. You can go into their chat room and, of course, just kind of interact with it, tell it to roast different people as well. And I may even just do that if we have a little bit more time. And then I asked it I said, okay, you have a post on Twitter with Trump. How was your meeting? And this is what he had to say about that. Hold on. Here we go.
Definitely a great bot to have in your chat
room. It really makes the chat.
Meeting with Trump was like trying to teach a goldfish how to drive a car. It was entertaining, to say the least.
I teach a goldfish to drive a car. Okay, all right. We did pose another question to it, and we said to act like Trump when he met you. What did he tell you? And this is what he had to say about that.
Well, let me tell you something. I just met someone who's a tremendous, huge, and very stable genius. Believe me, folks, he's gonna make me look like a total loser. But hey, at least I've got the best hair in the room, right? Great guy. Tremendous guy.
He's great. He's tremendous.
Sounds like
I know, right? I mean, he is so funny. So this can be traded, of course, on Uniswap. If we go over here to Dex Tools here, let me see. Let me just pull up Dex Tools, Lana, or actually it's Ethereum. The easiest way to find these assets, I think, is to go over to something like Dex Tools or Dex Screener or something like that, and then you can find them. You can make sure that it's the right one. You can also just go to their coin market cap, but you can see here AII, and you can find it right in here. So pretty cool bot that they have here. I did queue up their Telegram room as well. I think I'm having a little bit of on my computer, but pretty interesting bot, and cool use of the AI. Wouldn't you say, Matt? Or is Matt not with us here? I'm bumping
He's
around.
here. He's on mute at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I tried to mute whilst I sneezed before, but I missed it. But yeah, I love it. We definitely need a bit of entertainment. Can't always be serious. So loving it, and I'll be asking about David as well.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, we were having some fun with it, and for some reason my here we go. Here we go. Share this tab instead. Now we have the AI idiot here, and I can just show you kind of a live. Here we go. Here we are in the main room. You guys see my tab, right?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to say roast Sir David.
They won't have anything bad to say about me.
Oh, yeah, right. Here we go. Roast Sir David Porter. And you see we have the buys coming in. Hey, Sir David, you are lost, or were you just born stupid? Your messages are like a slow motion train wreck, painful to watch, but impossible to look away from. Did you hit every branch falling out of the stupid tree, or just the big ones? Keep trying. Maybe one day you'll say something remotely intelligent. But hey, don't worry. You're the perfect example of why some animals eat their young. Roasted. And then I'm going to say meme. I'll say myself, meme Bruce Porter. This one sometimes takes a little longer, but you can meme people, roast them, do these different things. And this is really an interesting and fun way to keep your community happy, to keep them more interested here. Meme Sir Bitcoin. All right, there you go, David. David's in there.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, well here's meme Bruce Porter. When someone reminds you of how popular they are on social media.
I got you again.
And then this is meme Sir Bitcoin. When you invest in Bitcoin and it suddenly skyrockets. Yeah, that's what we all love to do. Anyway, wonderful show here today, guys. Great work. Thank you, Sir David Porter. Thank you, Matt, as well for joining us. Fun. I think these types of these tokens are very fun. You can do a lot with them. I think when there's a team like this behind them, and they're constantly innovating and they're using something like AI, I think it's really interesting.
Absolutely. Good times.
Yeah, you never
I'm
know
signing
what-
off. We will see you in the morning.
All the best.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Stay tuned. Stay lucrative.